Hey guys, welcome, welcome to Strok'en with Pipes. Hey, thanks for watching and going through my little sim golf journey. Um, Today I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start talking about the numbers. So sim golf is becoming very popular, um, and they're all over the place. So everybody has them. I have a SkyTrack Plus, and SkyTrack Plus is probably one of the initial starters, but right now it's probably not on the high end of launch monitors. But I'm going to talk to you guys about some things about SkyTrack Plus, the numbers, and how you can utilize the numbers and try to get better. And also with all of the different connectors out there today, mainly connectors that allow you to play GS Pro, which is what I'm showing on the screen, instead of the native software that may come with the device or with the device. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I'm just going to start talking about some of the numbers and some of the benefits you kind of get, and some numbers that you may not be aware of that you can get with SkyTrack and SkyTrack Plus. So I'm going to go through this, just hitting little different shots and show you those numbers and them changing. In this little segment, I'm going to start to do, a little more of these, right? One of the biggest numbers, and I'm going to start with this number first because it says a lot about your impact, how you're hitting the ball, how well you're hitting the ball, and how maybe that ball might react. This one is a big one that people don't know or don't think they can even get with their SkyTrack. But because of some really smart people out there and some really close numbers, this thing is pretty accurate, I would say, with getting you the numbers that you want or what you think. And I'm going to show you that with some different examples as I show you different numbers. So the first number I'm going to talk about today is, first one we're going to start with, and I'm not going to have these videos be very long, but I want to kind of kick this one off, is angle of attack. So let's talk about that. Club angle of attack. So if you're looking at my screen, I have angle of attack on the right-hand side if you're facing the screen. Second from the top in regards to numbers is called Club AoA. So Club AoA. And angle of attack is short term. I'm not an expert per se or PGA teaching, but we can all read and understand what it is, right? And a couple things I got here, and I'm gonna show you guys. That's gonna help me show you and give you an example of this angle of attack, and also how you can see and get it to change. All right. This one, first thing I'm going to show you is, all right, here's a little device that I built. So this little device I built that was a copycat of a couple of different things that's been on the market, but it kind of moves around. I can put a little piece of foam on there, and then this will help me, drive different paths that I want to go at when I'm hitting the ball, etc. Another cool device. Now this one here is I kind of purchased, right? But it's a little bit of an angle. See if I can get it in the camera a little better, right? You probably can see this. So it has a little bit of an angle on it that you can put down behind the ball, and or you can stand on it to help your weight shift, right? This one here I use a lot to get with my angle of attack, right? So since we're talking angle of attack, we're gonna hit this video here. We're gonna show two two numbers, angle of attack, and then another one that you don't think you can get with the SkyTrack Plus. And eventually we'll come back and we'll do some other videos, right? First one. So angle of attack. Angle of attack is really your ability when you're coming down to make contact with the ball, if you're hitting down on the ball or scooping and hitting up on the ball at impact, right? And a lot of shots, especially your short wedges, right? And almost most of your shots besides a small number, you really want to have an angle of attack that is down. So on this screen, if you see this last shot I hit, it says 1.0D. So that's 1.0D, which is 1.2 degrees down, was my angle of attack. And a good example of that, and I'm going to show you hit a couple little short shots here. Like this is a little bitty short chip I'm not worried about, but I'm going to move it back just a little bit. Another feature that I love with GS Pro is just dropping the ball in different areas on the course, right? And doing some practice work. So I'm just going to move it back a little bit. Now, what I'm going to show you guys is how that angle of attack on my SkyTrack Plus changes and is pretty accurate with the numbers I'm getting. All right. So in most cases, as I face this way, right? And I'm going to do this where you kind of get an idea. So the more you can get your hands in front of the ball at impact, the better chance you have with an angle of attack being down, right? The more you get with your hands at impact, maybe even or behind the ball at impact, your angle of attack is going to be up, right? So if you want to practice more with angle of attack and being down, try to practice where you get at impact that your hands is in front of the ball. Plain and simple, right? So on this, just to kind of show you, I'm going to hit a couple shots here. And then I'm going to show you the differences. So we're going to watch the angle of attack. We're just going to watch that number change. I'm going to point it out after each shot. And I'm going to make adjustments to adjust that number. All right. So first one. All right. I'm just going to hit. Let's see what the number is. Yep. So that's a 4.9 down on that one, right? That means pretty good. Like pretty good. My hands were pretty far and forward in front. All right. Now I'm going to make a little adjustment. Not to be so far in front. That one there, I kind of bounce off it. See that? Because I kind of bounced and hit behind the ball, I kind of caught it on the upswing. So look, angle of attack went from 4.5 down to 0.6 up. All right. Show you another one. Give you another one here. Again, angle of attack 2.1 down. All right. You didn't think you can get that with your SkyTrack Plus, but there's some tools out there where you can. All right. We can talk about that. Hey, don't forget, hey, if you're enjoying this video, enjoying other videos, don't forget to give me a like, leave a comment. Let's talk about how you can see and get some of these numbers also. And then hit that bell. Hit that bell so you get notified when I do little videos like this, right? So that one there, we got an angle of attack of 2.1 down. All right. So now I'm just going to adjust a little bit and try to get maybe a little up. All right. Again, 0.1 down. Right. And a lot of this with the adjustment, so if you really think about it and you want your hands to be in front of the ball at impact, I'm going to start to shift a little bit to the right for a right-hand golfer so that I can kind of catch it more on the upswing a little bit, or a little bit of a, which you don't really want, which is a scoop. And we're going to see if we can get that angle of attack instead of down to kind of go up. All right, there's one right there. Angle of attack 0.6 up. All right. This one, I'm going to do a little more, so I'm going to move the ball a little more forward in my stance. Try to get it to go up a little more. Up 0.4. Now, sometimes it's kind of hard to do, especially, so this is a wedge. So right now I'm just doing this with a 58 wedge, right? I mean a 50. That one was with a 50. So let me just switch to another one. So this one here, I'm gonna go to 58. I think 50 I can get a little more up on the 58 because of the open face, etc. Right? Right? So that's 1.0 up. So more of this is, guys, you can manipulate your face angle of attack by adjusting where your hands are at impact when you hit the ball. And the other thing is that if you didn't think you can get these numbers with your SkyTrack Plus, you're wrong. And they're pretty accurate. And I'm showing you that right now. So I went from almost 4 down to 1 point up. And to finish this, and then we're going to jump to the other one, another number, I'm going to really try to get down on this one. So I got my weight shifted a little bit to the left. And I'm really going to try to hit this one down with hands in forward, hands in front. And there you go. 4.6 down on your angle of attack with your SkyTrack. Another popular number that people don't think they can get with their SkyTrack Plus, and that's Club Pass. Right? So Club Pass is right here on the screen. So right here on the screen, it's the bottom left, second from the bottom, and the Club Pass is 1.5 out to N. So the O-I is out to N. So that is a good indicator that you want with your Club Pass. So I got 1.5 out to N. Out to N is more of a cut across or slice, right? And it will translate pretty close to your HLA. So the HLA has been a -8. That is the indicator that you're coming out to in on the swing, which means you're gonna slice across it, right? In to out would be you coming more in to out from the inside, going out to right field. So think of you hitting the ball down third base, you know, kind of a pull down third base versus a push out to first base. Most of the time with golfers, and a lot of them, especially if you want to be able to draw the ball, you want more of a in to out, where you want to kind of go as if you're swinging to go down first base side in baseball terms with this, right? So looking at that Club Pass again, watch that number kind of change. So I went from out to N, a 1.5 out to N, and this one here, I'm going to really come from the inside, all right? I'm going to see if we can change that number now. Coming from the inside, you see that switch? That went from out to in to in to out. 1.2 in to out. Also, same as a HLA, a 4.6. So that's a 4.6 in to out swing, which is what you want if you want to try to learn how to draw the ball. And this, so the tool I kind of showed you with my phone, I'm gonna show you how this helped me practice some of that, because I can put this foam down that forces me, right? Because if I don't do it into out, in this example, I'm going to hit the foam, right? So I'm just going to hit another one here. Right? Go in there. Did not read because I got my little foam maybe blocking a little bit of the view. Right? But this little device that I can put on the ground will also help me get that feel and understand the process of coming into out. All right. And the same way I do that for in to out, I can switch this. I can move it a little bit and just show you guys now with a cut across. to go out to in. So by changing that a little bit and then swinging down that line per se, I can now show you guys what that looks like also. And you see how now I went from a positive to a negative? Because now I was able to change my foam a little bit and work on now cutting across it just to show you. This is showing you a couple things. One, this device, it works. And it's going to give you the numbers whether you believe it or trust it or not. If you just, once you have it set up and spend the time to really get it set correctly, it is unbelievable how accurate it is. And I compared it to some of the high-end devices, and it is on a lot of cases within 2% difference depending on certain little things. But the majority of the things are spot on if you go ahead and just trust it, and then use little devices like this or training devices like this to help you understand what you really are doing compared to what you think you're doing, right? That's a really cutting across. And my club pass goes from 5.3 out to N, which is a slice, right? A slice or cutting across, no doubt, right? Another little small one. And then again, just to show you, I'm gonna switch it a little bit here. My device and force me to go into out, and then we're gonna end that. We're gonna end that with these two numbers that we just talked about, and what you can get with your SkyTrack Plus. One being club angle of attack, which people don't believe or understand they can get it, which is really huge. The other one is the club pass. So we're gonna finish this one with one. I'm gonna try to do a club pass of into out, and also along with that, the club angle of attack bearing down. So in this one, I want two things. I want my down and I want in the out, which means hands in front plus coming from the inside. Hands in front plus coming from the inside. So I didn't get my angle of attack. It was down, it was still up, but it got my coming from the inside. So let's try it again. Right? Really get in front. All right, there we go. So finish this with those two numbers that we talked about, man. Angle of attack, 3.5 down. Club pass, 6.6 into out. You can do it. Hey guys, this is SkyTrack Plus. We're gonna be talking about the numbers. I'll be coming back with other videos. We're gonna go through other numbers, but to kind of show you guys it's possible you can get it. And the biggest one that everybody talk about, can they get club angle of attack with their SkyTrack? Well, there it is. There's your proof right there. Guys, enjoy. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Hey, don't forget to give me a like, leave a comment, hit that bell and get notified when I make other videos. And until next time, I'm out. Hey, guys, you've been stroking it with pipes. Peace.